you were to check what's the most valuable brand in the world, it's been Amazon. It's been Amazon now. It's valued, I think, at 693 billion, something like that. A lot of money.
Yeah.
But do you know what has surprised me is when you check that who really or what is the most recognizable brand in the world, you'll be amazed. Do you know how many people in the world, how many there are? There are about 7 billion people.
Yeah.
2.5 billion people in the world associate with Christianity.
2.5 billion.
Yes. Wow. I don't think anyone else has that kind of following. Even if they have, still this brand is. Right. If you take in terms of books published, who's been on the New York bestseller forever and ever until they had to remove. Yeah. Do you know they actually had to remove the Bible? Because it was stopping so many times. They remove it.
Okay, enough.
As in organizations exist to translate the Bible, all that. Huge following. The cross is the most recognizable symbol in the world. Anyone will see a cross on the corner of a street. They say, what's that?
It's a church.
That's a church. Anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know, when you give these statistics, then I ask, if it seems to us through numbers, we didn't say, we only said the cross, we said the Bible, we didn't even say the name Jesus. It's so popular, it's used in every cast movie. And when someone is thinking they're, destroying your name, but they're saying it, guess what? Everybody knows the name. And now we can walk from a known place to the unknown of how much His grace is. The story of the Bible, the story of all these things. Now, not all those cases are very positive stories, I have to say, but I'm saying from a recognizability of a brand. So if God's brand is this huge, do you think He has something to say about marketing that I want to sit and listen?
Definitely.
That I want to say, okay, there's some of the Paul says some use this name in vain, some use it for their own stomachs or whatever. Either way, the gospel is preached. Which means brand inakuwa kubwa
kabisa.
So tufanye nini? So that's why I'm very interested to see, does the Bible have to say anything about developing a brand or marketing strategy?
Okay.
Because I want to hear, God, do you have a thought? And so today we are going vintage biblical entrepreneurship curriculum.
Okay.
To go very, very deep. Good.
All right. Let's delve in.
Twende. Yeah. So I like the fire. I want to first of all say, I'll ask a simple question. What is a marketing strategy? I have an interesting story. I started when I was consultancy. I've done consultancy. I remember sitting in this room. We were in a place called Uterect. And we sat with these consultants and just, have you ever seen a marketing strategy? And everyone said, yeah, show me one. And it wasn't everybody who didn't know, but many consultants there had never seen one. What does it look like?
Yeah.
Show me a marketing strategy. What is that? What does it do? When you have one, or by the way, there are very few people with a marketing strategy. We have posters.
Some are asking, what's that? How
does
it look like?
Yeah. As in, your animal, ikona miguu tatu ama tano. What is that? Exactly what is a marketing strategy? And do you even need one? How does one look? The word strategy, do you know it's actually a word born out of war planning. So it is, we're going to go here, we'll attack this way, then we'll attack from the flank left, then we will cheat them like this, and then two people will run from there, and then we'll have a sniper there. It comes from that life of, that's what the word strategy is. So when strategy is done well, do you know what's interesting? A war of 500,000 people can be beaten by 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Because they strategically or they plan themselves. So marketing strategy already, we begin to say something about marketing, whatever marketing means, but it is a plan. It is tutaanzia hapa, tutaenda pale. You know, the unasema nitaamka asubuhi saa 2, nitaoga, nipige meno mswaki. There's something like that for marketing.
Okay.
That's why we're starting.
All right. Okay.
Now, ask a question. Uliza swali.
I already have questions, but I'm wondering, is it even the right time to...
Just go. It's okay.
Okay. I'm okay. Is it... if Let's first of all have the conversation.
No, it's okay. Ask. Because some of those questions, maybe somebody has.
Yeah.
And I always want to be cognizant on what the people out there need more than what I have to say.
Okay. Now, I'm just wondering, first of all, just even before we get to developing it, we need to know, why do we need it? Because you started by saying, see posters, it's not posters.
Yes, poster is not a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
or going to YouTube and putting that is an execution.
Okay.
But what is the plan?
Okay, just tell us. What is the
plan? And you're going into 2023. And okay, so let me just start it very simply. You have a goal. You say, next year I want to sell. Let me give you a good number. Say, next year I want a company to grow to 10 million shillings. That's what I want. After I've given discounts, this is the money I want to be my, what we call sales or turnover.
Okay.
Good. How many, can you translate that into number of products? Mm-hmm. So you say, okay, for 10 million, my price is 1,000 shillings per item. I will divide that and come up with, say, what's a 10 million divided by 1,000? That number. Let's call it 100,000 or a million. Okay. Now take that number. You say, these are the number of products. How many customers will buy this? And will it be a one-time customer or will it be a repetitive? So assume we have now decided we will have 3 or 10,000 customers who will buy so many units to give me 10 million. Okay. Now, where are those guys? Now, you see how we are building this story. Right. We're going systematically. We are planning. We're saying so because do you know now simply marketing is a simple word. In fact, it is not to t-shirt anyone. Should never be t-shirt, but I can do for you a marketing strategy that's going to help you. Aja, it is a simple thing. So you want 3,000 customers to reach between January and this time. This is how many times I want them to buy, or just one-time customer. How you want 3,000? 3,000? Yes. Where are they? Mm-hmm. If you cannot tie your strategic plan or your sales number to Nyinawa Gania or Mama Nyanduse who lives in, wherever, if you can't tie it to that, you don't know that story called marketing strategy. We need to be able to say, so and so will buy, and obviously it's an assumption.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a strategy. It is not, we are not saying this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So and so will buy 500 items of my, curly hair, whatever, by this time at this place, if possible. So those things begin to give birth to where we're going.
It's not counting chicks before they hatch.
Yes. No, it is a plan.
Okay.
Isn't it? Because now you say, okay. So bottom line, we say marketing is another word can be called generating demand.
Okay.
You say, okay, so that 10 million, where will I guess those 3,000? Those 3,000 guys don't exist. How do I manufacture them? Ding! Marketing strategy. That is the thing that is going to tell people out there that there is such a thing that exists called XYZ, my gym on the corner house. That thing that will tell people, come to my gym at 5 a.m. at this time, at this price, and they are willing to even come and listen. That process, creating that, is that journey for creating a marketing strategy. Now you realize, do you know what the biggest thing is? Think about it. Kukaa chini na kalamu na karatasi. Ufikirie tu wewe peke yako, uandike. Useme nataka watu 1,000. Wanunue hii product at this price. So if it is at this price, how much do they earn? You know, then we go back to those questions of what is their need. You know, hizo tumesema mara mingi, so no point in belaboring. Can I quote you a scripture first?
Please do.
Galatians 6, verse 7 to 8. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows in the flesh, to the flesh will also, will of the flesh reap corruption. But he who sows to the Spirit will also of the Spirit reap everlasting life. Now, the conversation there is called sowing.
Yeah.
Remember, we call it generating demand.
Yeah.
So if, unajua kama sasa mvua imetufundisha, kama hakuna mahindi kwa shamba, should you be expecting to harvest?
No.
So it is in marketing. We believe sowing is the whole process of marketing is a process of sowing.
Okay.
You're sowing an idea in the fertile ground of the mind of people, so that mind, based on how many times you will have done that, will now go to the process of you harvesting. And how do you harvest? How do you harvest marketing? Selling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Selling is the reaping.
Yeah.
Sowing is the marketing.
Okay.
So, how many of us do you think go out there and start reaping where they have not sold?
Oh, you will not reap anything.
And you come back and you say, sales ni ngumu.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you sow? How much did you sow? That is why the whole process of giving is actually a good process to consider as a model for marketing.
Okay.
So
Okay, let's go on.
And today I don't want to be caught by that clock again.
No, let's go on. I'll watch it for you.
So 2 Corinthians 9:10. Again, I'm on sowing and reaping. So now, may he who supplies seed to the sower and bread to the food supply and multiply the seed you have sown and increase the fruit of your fruit of righteousness. Now, let me just pause there and say something. I have been in this pahali CEO and I believe marketing is a waste of time. Hiyo ninakubaliana na wewe vile umesema. But namuuliza, watu wanatoka wapi? Those guys who we are going to harvest, where will they come from? How will they know? Do you know we cannot actually do evangelism without telling people the love of Jesus?
We cannot.
Even if it is an angel or the Lord by his grace himself comes to you, he will have to sow the seed of the word. You cannot. How do you harvest? People who have not heard. That's why it's not about praying so much for the believers who should be born again. It is telling them. So it is in marketing. You've got to advertise your product, or you've got to put it in a place. Those 3,000 people we're talking about, where are they? What do they do? There's a science.
Yeah.
We talked about the science of selling. Now, where are those people? And what are you doing to bring them out? I'm about to give you a model before we hit the top of the hour. But I'm first of all dealing with the conceptualization of this thing. That, hey, we've got to tell people about this thing if they will ever buy. So guess what? One of the reasons our harvest is bad is there's no what?
We did so.
We did so. So where are you expecting to harvest from?
Oopsie.
Or who sowed for you to reap? Now, obviously, brands that grow and become big is because somebody has sowed. So guess what? Why do you think Christianity is the most popular brand in the world? How many people do you think God has used over generations to sow? To go into villages, knock on doors, start churches, televisions. Hope FM is doing the work. Is we are sowing, therefore we reap.
Amen.
So I ask the nice questions. What was your budget last year for marketing? Are there? Mimi nipatia watu pesa? Hey, we come slowly. Let me say this. There's different ways to market, obviously. So let me give you a process. You can write this down.
Okay.
Atea. Atea is spelled A-T-E-A-R. Atea.
A-T-E.
E for elephant. Yes.
They call it
Ama Elekea. And it's called what is this?
in school they tell them egg.
Let me tell you, I live with those people. I keep telling you, my wife is an expert teacher. So forgive me, babe. Wacha niseme vile nitashika. So A-T-E-A again R.
Atea. Oh, like Atea. Okay.
Yes, Atea. That word is actually, I think, a Spanish word that means fire.
Okay.
Like you're on fire, something like that. I think.
Okay.
Research, tell me if I was right. Now, number one, you want to attract.
All right.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, there's an example I used to use, but there's many examples. I don't know if you remember, there was an advert where a teacher will be teaching in class and stand up on the table and all the children will see this advert and they all stand up on the table and they go like, what are they doing? They did something on television that the operations of the house during that advert stopped. Why? Something was happening that attracted them. If you're going to build a successful marketing strategy, you have to think this 3,000 people. By the way, you know what is the rule? If you want 3,000 people as the harvest, guess what you sow?
What?
You sow for 30,000 maybe.
30,000.
Because how do you know a specific 3,000?
Okay. Wow. Okay, so it's quite an investment.
It is. But do you want a consistent harvest? Yes.
Yeah.
Although we must start believing God, Sharon. We should be maybe, but the value is what matters. So let me not digress. So attract. Then there are many ways of attracting somebody. Where do you place your advert? It is dependent on who is listening to you. That's why I'm doing the biblical entrepreneur on Hope FM.
Right.
Not on another. There's a place I can go. Yes, there are Christians listening, but in terms of concentration of Christians listening to kingdom entrepreneurship, they'll most likely be here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where I'm sowing.
Right.
What am I doing? Sowing.
Sowing.
I'll talk about that for a bit.
Okay.
Oh, that clock. Let's go. T, trust.
T is trust.
It is not enough for people to hear about you. You know, you have an advert on Facebook, you have an advert on WhatsApp. Why should they trust you?
Okay.
What is it that makes somebody say, when I see your advert, I will believe it. Because anybody can promise anything. It's a free world. It's a free market. So if you want to say, I am the number one television show in XYZ, it's okay, that's good. What makes me? Is it a scientific detail you're going to give? Is it a certain brand name? Is it a user who's going to come behind you and say, I actually went to Frank's class and I loved it?
Yeah.
What is it that drives trust? Because if there's nothing that drives trust for you, guess what? You will be a sounding gong, as the Bible calls it in 1 Corinthians 13.
Wow, I'm loving today's class. Let's take the news at 12. Then be back with more of this conversation with Coach Frank Kitonga. 20933 is our text line, 0717 400 555 on WhatsApp, and at Hope FM Live across social media. Do you have a question or comment? Please drop it right there, and we will have a look at it in a few.
Hope FM. It's now 12 p.m.
Listen and